In 1975, Dan Fogelberg sang, "End of October, the sleepy brown woods seem to nod their head toward the winter." Well, that's all very good for sleepy brown woods, but I haven't got any time for that. It's Monday Matters right here on Gary's Stuff. Hi, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today, indeed, is Monday Matters. Now, as usual, I'll have a quick look at what's caught my eye in the news of the week. I'll be catching you up to date what I've been up to on the bench, and of course, I'll be introducing this week's featured kit of the week. All these bits come as chapters, so you can hop backwards and forwards as your heart desires through the video. If you like the video, please do remember the best way to support the channel for free is to subscribe. If you also hit the bell, you'll be notified of all my future content as it is published. And of course, anything on my channel that you do like, please give it the old imperial thumbs up on that like button below, because every like counts. Okay, a few things I should mention this week. First of all, next week's show is going to be a little bit later than usual. It will still be on Monday, but it'll be a few hours late. I've got that much to do in the next week that I really can't get the show out for 7 o'clock in the morning as I normally do. So it will be there on Monday, just a little bit later. As usual, you really won't want to miss it, but it will be just a little bit later in the day. I've got a lot of work that weekend to be getting on with. Secondly, apologies for not mentioning this earlier, but the 48-hour group build I was talking about from our friends over in the Netherlands at Scale Models for Vets, unfortunately, it has had to be put back a little while for various reasons. So now the 48-hour build will start on Friday the 29th of November at 7 p.m. 1900 Central European Time. That's 6 p.m. or 1800 Greenwich Mean Time, or UTC or Zulu time, whichever one of those three mean anything to you. So Friday 29th at 7 p.m. Central European Time, and it will go on for 48 hours, so it finishes the same time on Sunday 1st of December. Now, there's going to be plenty of people building stuff, plenty of chat going on, there's going to be auctions going on, and of course the aim is to raise €1,000 for Scale Models for Vets so they can do work very, very similar to our own very dear Models for Heroes. I'll give you another shout out closer to the time, but maybe pop it in your diaries now. Talking of which, about Models for Heroes, if you didn't catch it, please do head over to Mikey's channel at Bearded Veteran Create, because he did a really good interview with Malcolm, the founder of Models for Heroes, on Friday. The video will be on his channel. It's a really good insight how Models for Heroes came about and what its ideals are and what it wants to do. And actually the scale of the thing, it's quite surprising, the scale of people involved in this. So do head over to Bearded Veteran Creates channel for that. And of course, if you're watching this on Monday, check out the live stream I'm on Bearded Veteran Creates every Monday at 2 p.m. UK time. That's with Mikey and of course with John from Scale Modelling Twins in Australia. It's a round table. It's open to everyone to pop in, have a chat, ask questions, even join the stream later on if you want as well. So do check that out. If you can't watch it during the day, check it out in the evening and see what we've been getting up to. Okay, that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about this week. So, pre-Telford, there's not a lot going on in releases and all that, but here's what I cherry-picked this week in the news of the week. First, a huge shout out to Claudia Togni, who pointed out that the Hong Kong Models Douglas A20 I mentioned last week is in fact in 1/48 scale, so is indeed a completely new tooling. My apologies to HK and thanks to Claudia for pointing that out. LUKGRAPH has teased the box art for their new kit of the PWS 10 Fighter, which will be available in 1/32nd, 1/48th and 1/72nd scales. Each scale also has another set in Spanish markings. LUKGRAPH also showed a close-up of the 1/32nd scale kit, which is, of course, completely 3D printed. Although at smaller scales, I wonder if this layering will be more prominent. Also from the heritage of the Polish aircraft industry is the PZL M18 Dromada agricultural aircraft, here in 1/48 scale from IBG. All that pipework for the chemical sprays will be something of a challenge, I suspect. BELLFINE has shown this kit of the purported SR-72 Dark Star from the Top Gun Maverick movie. This kit should be available in 2025. Military Scales has a load of new subjects in its print-on-demand service. Some of the more strange are this mortar-carrying Ural motorbike, a half-track Willys Jeep, a rocket-carrying Vespa scooter, and the tricycle Framo Stormer, all in 1/72nd scale. Print Replica has announced its new Ferrari 350 GTO in 1/12th scale. This is a company that sells you the STL files for you to print the kit parts at home. There are 12 frames of print for this kit, including wheels and clear parts. Print Replica suggests at least an 8K printer, and ideally with more than 6 litres capacity. Alpha Model has a new 1/24th scale kit of the AMG Mercedes C63 Black, something for the specialist in high gloss paint finishes, I think. MINIART has a new set of US jerry cans in 1/24th scale. I suspect they'll be available in 1/35th as well before too long. And finally, AIRFIX has released its Christmas jumper for sale. Not remotely likely to annoy anyone, as it's still October. On my bench this week, well, I suppose the big thing to talk about was indeed the littlest thing, and it was the 1/72nd scale Tiger Moth from AIRFIX. This is one of the kits that Lidl was selling in the summer as part of the AIRFIX offer, I think for about $7.99 or $6.99 or something like that. Would have brought a lot of people into the hobby because it's not overtly military. It's a civilian scheme. It's a cool looking plane. It's a biplane, and therein lies the problem. As a biplane, it's not easy to make for the new people to the hobby, and demands maybe some tools that maybe necessarily won't have lying around. So it's an odd choice of kit to include in the little offer, I think. However, it makes a nice little kit, don't get me wrong, but I think the skills required are of someone who's made a few kits before rather than someone heading straight into the kit as a new hobby. I do wonder and I do worry that a lot of potential new model makers were put off by it and thought, no, that's too difficult. I'm not trying that again. However, if you do get hold of one of these, it's a nice enough little model. There's photo etch and all that available for it as well, so you can build it up into something really quite cool. I'll be having a crack at doing that myself later on. I also published videos about the box contents of the P1127, the predecessor to the Harrier that was released by AIRFIX as part of their Vintage Classics series in 1/72nd scale. And also I had a look inside the box of my freebie Spitfire, the Spitfire 5B in 1/48th scale I was sent by AIRFIX with my last order. Other than that, I've been making good progress with my Martin Baker Tank Buster, the plane that was one of Nick's Conundrum kits from the live stream. And I've very nearly finished my 1/48th scale P40, and I've completed the fuselage on my Matchbox Halifax. So things have been moving along quite nicely. So for my few unoccupied moments, I thought I'd better introduce you to this week's featured kit of the week, and this week it's the AIRFIX 1/72nd scale Shorts Tucano in special remembrance scheme. This scheme was released as a boxing of just 2,000 copies, so I'm very lucky to have one. Thank you so very much to Simon Bainbridge for sending it to me. I will do my best to make sure this is done in the next 2 weeks, ready for Remembrance Day weekend, which of course Remembrance Day this year is on the 10th of November, Sunday 10th of November. So I'll be having a crack on with that to get that done. And of course, plenty of other things I'm going to be starting to do that I'll tell you more about when I start with them. That's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. Do remember next week's show will be a little later in the day. It won't be at 7 o'clock sharp, so it won't be a breakfast thing. It'll be a more mid-morning thing, I suspect. If you've enjoyed today, then do please remember, give it the old imperial thumbs up on that like button below because every like counts. And if you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything. Hit the bell and you'll be notified of all my future content as it is published. Thank you so very much for watching today. Hope to see you again on the channel very soon. Take good care now and goodbye.